Nell. T. Nelson. T. Nell Sauce. T. Nell. I don't want to.
Hold on to me as we go. As we roll.
So much for all you've given to us at Covenant Day. And thank you especially for just involving me in so many ways in the arts and really making a home for me here. Playing the violin is so different than singing in choir or playing an instrument in band, but thank you so much for welcoming me and making me a part of your community.
No, you're not alone. I'm gonna make this thing.
Thank you, Mr. Nelson, for everything you've done for me. Thank you for all you taught me about my voice. My voice is the way it is now in large part to you. Thank you for just the spiritual guidance and emotional support that you've given me. And yeah, thank you.
I've known Mr. Nelson for 4 or 5 years now, and I've really enjoyed getting to see him transition to be my teacher. And I'm going to be sad to miss him, but I know he's going to do a great job changing the world. Thanks, Mr. Nelson.
Mr. Nelson, thank you so much for being a light to this program. Even though I never did choir, you've been such a help to me through Phantom of the Opera and just sitting with us at our lunch table and getting to know us better. And I thank you for that.
Mr. Nelson, thank you for dedication to the arts at Covenant Day and the students that comprise the program.
Thanks for all your encouragement during the show. Hey Tino, there are so many things that I could say, but I just want to say thank you for teaching me what it means to be a leader. We're gonna miss you, and I'm gonna stop crying. I'm gonna stop talking before I start crying. Thank you. Bye.
Don't fade on to the demons that fill you with fear. We'll travel with my drive.
Hi, Mr. Nelson. Thank you for everything you've done for this fine arts department and just mentoring me this year. It's been really great getting to know you. Thank you.
Eyebrows up. Now eyebrows down. Okay, now everybody wake up your faces.
Hey, Mr. Nelson. Thank you for such a positive impact you've had on the Covenant Arts Department here at Covenant Day. We're really going to miss you next year.
Hey, Mr. Nelson, thank you so much for not only teaching me so much about music and about the arts, but for teaching me about life. Thank you for your constant encouragement and for making your students feel loved and supported all the time. You are so passionate about what you do, and you've given us a new excitement for the arts. Thank you for making your class feel like a safe place and for really making music feel like home. We're going to miss you a lot.
Thank you for leaving.
Mr. Nelson, thank you so much for, even though I'm not in choir, thank you for doing all the choir stuff. That's pretty awesome. Thank you for letting me do Phantom of the Opera, even though I didn't want a singing role. You gave me Masquerade, which was ambitious, but it was fun. And thank you for being my mentor in Boys to Men, and we're going to miss you in the marshmallow fights. And yeah, even though your muscles aren't big, we're just going to miss you. Have fun.
Your days with me, or do you send him to his grave? Why make her lie to you to save me?
I just like to look at the clock behind his head. It is after 1 in the morning, and this is what we have to put up with.
Save your voice!
Vocal contract, vocal contract.
I don't really know how to say it. Basically, I'm speechless about you, Mr. Nelson. And thank you for making me and Grace Keel the most extra people ever. And thank you for making me a better person, and a better musician, and a better student. Love you. Oh! Well, thank you for making all of your students extra. Yeah, like extra.
Mr. Nelson, you've been with me through a lot of, hard times, I've known you for longer than most of the kids that come today. And I feel like just most of the times, instead of just being a teacher, you've been a friend, like a good friend. That's really meant a lot to me. Just that you've been there for me. You've been
talk to me. I've been able to have like a friendly relationship with you, make fun of me and stuff like that. It's just meant so much to me. And I'm really sad that you're leaving. You know, I've thought about it a lot. But I just pray that you'll be able to do what you do with us kids here over your new school. And yeah, love you.
I'm very, very sad that you are leaving, Mr. Nelson. I never got to take your class, and I was planning to next year. Sadly, I'm not as sure about it, let's just say that. But I'm going to wait and see who the new teacher is. But as a whole, you've really showed me what it's like to walk in a godly manner through life. And I mean, you've been a father figure to me. You've encouraged me after Mary Poppins, when I didn't make it, you showed me what I did wrong, and I picked myself back up, and I tried out for Phantom, and made it. And you've definitely done a lot to help me pursue my passion for theater, even though I never really thought I had one. And you've always been for me. You never were against me. Even when I said I wasn't able to do choir this year, you're like, well, I'm looking forward to seeing you next year. And I was like, I am too. So, yeah, thanks for everything you've done. It's been an honor.
Hi, Mr. Nelson. I just want to say thank you for letting me be a part of worship team this year. It's been a great experience, and my musical abilities have definitely grown, so I thank you for that and for the fellowship.
Thank you, Mr. Nelson, for your mentorship and for making the amazing Covenant Day Choir quote board.
Yeah, like that.
Now walk it by yourself. Now walk it by yourself. Okay, I'm done. Okay.
Okay.
Mr. Nelson, I have never personally experienced you as a teacher. I was never in choir. If I was in the musicals, I wasn't singing. But your influence in my life and in my friends' lives is so great. You don't even have to be in your class, and you don't have to teach us. Like, your positivity and your personality and your effect on all of us is so monumental that there's really going to be an absence when you're gone. I just want to thank you for your effect on the school, on the student body, and on the arts program, because you've really helped us grow and help us be confident in who we are and what we have. Thank you. I feel like, what do I say to Small Bod?
Oh gosh, I need to think of like a good way to like. Please don't tell me you're recording. Mr. Nelson, I just wanted to tell you how much I have appreciated the fact that from day one you tried to convince me to join the choir, and you continued to like pursue that and really just wanted me to join. But what stuck out to me is that even when you knew you weren't seeing it coming a day, you still tried to pursue me. You still tried to get me to join the choir. And to me, that shows that you're not just worried about like the numbers in your choir program, like having more people to look better. You're really just wanting me to find joy in choir like you did and like all your other students do. So I just want to thank you for that, and thank you for showing me just how much you care about your students and about choir, because it's an art, and I can tell that you have a real heart for it, and I know that you're going to thrive at your new school. And we're going to miss you so much, but I think we're going to love you even more, knowing that you're pursuing your dreams just like you encourage us to pursue ours. So, I love you, and good luck at your new school. Hi, Tina. I've really enjoyed having you as a teacher these past 2 years, and you've taught me so much about being confident in my voice and using it for God. And I'm going to miss you a lot next year, and hope you have a great year at your school.
Hey, Mr. Nelson. I just wanted to say thank you so much for everything you've done for me personally.
Hey, Mr. Nelson, I just want to say thank you for all that you've done for me.
It's really been great for you to be my choir teacher from 9th grade all the way to 12th grade and kind of watch me grow up. And I'm so thankful for all the memories and everything you've done for me and just the constant support that you always give us.
Hey, Mr. Nelson, thank you so much for just all the impact that you've had on my life. You're the most extra person I have ever met, and I wish you the best of luck at your new school, and I know that you will be so successful, and you'll be more successful if you stop drinking soda. So, bye!
Hey, Mr. Nelson, I just wanted to thank you so much for being such a great teacher. You've done such a great job encouraging all of your students and pushing us to do things that we never thought were possible. We're going to miss you a lot. Thank you.
Oh, sorry, I couldn't see the camera there over my arms that are bigger than yours. But thanks for always being an amazing person to be able to come to, for always being such an encouragement, and for always wishing that your arms were bigger than mine, when in fact, you know it's true because you've let me break the rule. Thanks, Mr. Nelson.
Thank you for always being so energetic and happy and preparing us well for every event and program.
Mr. Nelson, thank you so much for the individual care that you have for each one of your students, and just the love that you have for all of us, and the joy that you share with us every day. We all appreciate it so much.
Thank you, Mr. Nelson.
I am so proud of you. Thank you, Mr. Nelson, for supporting us even at our worst.
Every year measure.
Thank you so much, Mr. Nelson. We're going to miss you so much, and the CDS Fine Arts Squad will always be here for you.
To the one and only Tino, we love all the great and funny stories you tell. Your fashion rocks, and you always wear cool socks. I appreciate your efforts at matching the colors of your belt and shoes. I also love your patient attitude, even in class when some of us snooze. You're funny, humble, kind, and gifted. After every class with you, my spirits are lifted. You serve as an amazing Christ-like role model. If I could, I would sell your voice in a bottle. Wherever you go, no matter how far in miles, you will bring lots of joy and plenty of smiles. We appreciate you for all you do. We love you so much, and I know your new students will too. You have helped us grow in so many new ways, and for that you deserve $1 million raise. Even when we haven't turned in our pre-planned Athens form to Miss Feather, you have taught us a great life lesson, that we will always be better together.
Hi, Mr. Nelson. Thank you for always talking to me in the halls and always talking to me when I need to, and thank you for making a positive impact on myself.
Right. Mr. Nelson, thank you for teaching me over these past few years, not just to be a better singer, but also a better leader.
Thank you, Tino, for constantly encouraging me and to become a better worship team member. And whatever we do, whether it's worship team or choir or whatever, I don't think we would be as good as we are now if you weren't here. And so, thank you so much for being our teacher, and it's been a great year. I've never met a person like you. I think you're one of a kind, so thank you.
Hey, Mr. Nelson. It's been a long and really great 2 years. You've been with me, you've helped me grow singing, you just really helped me grow as a man, and just like a better person in general. You've been with me when I needed someone to cry on or just someone to talk to, and you've really always helped me through really hard times in my life. I'm really grateful that you were in my life, and there's going to be a really huge hole at CDS when you leave.
Thank you, Tino, for always being such a kind and amazing teacher, and always inspiring us to sing and be better people.
Remember hiding in a corner because you roasted me a ton, but I always got you back. And I do remember how at the beginning of the year I was pretty frustrated with you because you said, hey, bring both of your guitars. And so
I brought my electric guitar, my dad's massive acoustic guitar, and I also had to carry an amp for the acoustic guitar, and my backpack, which weighed 300 pounds, and my laptop. So by the time I set all this stuff down, I didn't play once, and I had a knee problem for about 2 months, and I couldn't jump in Taekwondo class. So thanks, Mr. Nelson. I'll send you the hospital bill or something. Whatever.
So my favorite memory with Mr. Nelson was after the 8th grade talent show. He saw me drumming up there, and we were exiting, Seth and I, we were exiting from the Lion's Den, and he came right after me, put both arms on my shoulder and said, "If you're non-worship leadership next year, I am going to murder you." So throughout the rest of the year, he always came to me through the halls, and all that stuff, and said, join worship leadership, join worship leadership. And throughout the entire year and even half of the summer, I wasn't even considering of joining worship leadership, and last second something said to me that I have to join it, so I did. And I'm having a blast with hanging out with everyone and him and doing worship leadership right now.
Felt the rain on my skin. I've been lost and found.
All right, Mr. Nelson. I just want to thank you for being a teacher who actually cares about us. And there's been so many times where you just come up to me and you say, "Are you okay today? Like, how are you doing?" And you create this genuine relationship with all your students, and that's something that I really admire, and I really look up to you and what kind of person you are. Thank you for convincing me to do choir and making me feel so welcome. We really are going to miss you next year.
Is that it, folks?
Hello, Mr. Nelson. You are our favorite hero. We are so sad that you are leaving, but we are excited for the plan God has for you in the future, beyond the horizon.
Wait, what's after that?
We have a song.
Oh, yeah. We have a song for you. Just kidding. That would be weird. Oh my God. Yes, our guns are bigger than yours. We love you. Bye.
Thank you for helping me realize my love for music and helping me bring more confidence.
Mr. Nelson, thank you for seeing potential in me that I would have never been able to see in myself. Always believed in me and always believed that I could do it even when I didn't think I could. You've helped me grow musically by having a better ear and listening to the parts around me, focusing on dynamics especially. Thank you for the leadership you provided for me this year and believing in me. And then also your song selections have brought to life some of the characteristics of God. And I've grown closer to God because of the truth that has been evident in these songs that you've chosen. We truly are better together. And that is a motto that'll stick with me forever.
Where the failures were in my hands can't reach that far. I ain't made for a rivalry, we can never take this.
Okay, Mr. Nelson, this year in choir has been so fantastic, and I loved having you as a teacher, and we're going to miss you so much. And throughout this year, you have taught me so much about, like, you know, being a good friend to people and having long vowels when you sing, but mostly about growing in my faith and all that, so thank you so much.
Alright,
Deep down.
hey Mr. Nelson, I don't know, I have a lot to say, I guess, but not a lot to say at the same time. You came my freshman sophomore year. My sophomore year, right? I don't know. I'm looking at Elle, by the way.
Your sophomore year.
Yeah, my sophomore year, because I was in band, and you were like, you should join choir, and I was like, I'm gonna stick with band. And the next year, I was like, worship leadership sounds fun, so I did that. Now I'm in choir, so you won on that one. I don't know. I'm glad that you're in my life because you're a great friend of mine, and I look up to you. I'm not going to be a music teacher. Oh, shut up. Just leave, though. I don't know. It's always been fun messing with you, and yeah, that's probably the highlight of the past 2 years of my life. Is just screwing around with you. Thanks for always being there for me, and I can't wait to come visit you down in Columbia. And I'm sure there's more that I want to say, and I'll remember it later. But that's what you get for now. So be happy with it.
T-Nell is such an important person. He's just so cool. First off, he's so lame, but lame in like all the good ways. Like he's not afraid to put himself out there and look weird and crazy as he does most of the time, but it encourages his students to look weird and crazy with him, so that's awesome. He's the kind of person that you're able to go to and talk to whenever you need advice, and he doesn't judge you, at least, wait, what am I saying? He doesn't judge you. He is always so kind and offers really good advice, and he is also such a man of God. I've known him since I was in 7th grade sounds right, because we go to the same church, because he was one of my youth leaders, and he loves God so much, and he is so good at showing children and young teens and teenagers how to love God too. So I am so thankful for him, and he's been such a large part of my childhood and me becoming who I am today. So I love you so much, T-Nell. You are amazing. Best of luck at your new school next year. We'll miss you a lot.
Hey, T-Nell. Two of my strongest memories that you have imparted on me were one when I was really struggling with the note in Lion King, and you pulled me aside and you said, hey, let's work on this. So we went into the sound lock, and you just you did your thing. You were like, ah! And you made me laugh so hard that day. And all of my fears with that note, they just disappeared. And I was able to hit it, and that was really cool. And then second was this year, when I was trying to get an understudy part, and I was so upset that I couldn't hit the note. It was after exams, and they had been able to hit it. There was no way I could have. But you still were there for me. You still came down and you talked to me and said, Hannah, it's okay. You don't have to hit that note. You don't have to hit it now, but I believe you can. And so then we yelled at walls together. We sang to walls, and we went out, and we just really surprised the parents who were watching outside. And I was able to hit that note by the end of the day, and that was really crazy. And even when I couldn't hit the note, even when I couldn't get it, you were still there when you were picking me back up and saying, hey, Hannah, it's okay. Your worth is not defined by what notes you can or can't hit. And yes, you're a great choir teacher. You'll always be there for me as my choir teacher. But more importantly, you are a really great figure of a Christian man who is walking with the Lord and did everything he could to show others the wisdom that God had put in his heart. T-Nell, I am so proud of you. So proud of you. Clemente is going to miss you a lot, but we are all behind you in this. And thank you so much for what you put on us and in our hearts. Just the 2 years that you've been with us has made all the difference. Thank you, T-Nell.
Hey T-Nell, it's Seth, and I just want to say thank you for helping me grow as a guitarist and a worshiper this year, and I thank you for loving me and my friends so much while we're worshiping, and I also want to thank you for asking me about how I'm doing with all the stuff that's going on at home right now, and yeah, I'm going to miss you a lot.
Hey Mr. Nelson, it's Eli. I just wanted to say that you're still a small bod, and I loved your reading of The Lion and the Dragon. I hope that people ask you that question multiple times and you have to explain it just as you explained it to us. I also thank you for announcing to the entire school about me being a Gap Kids model. It really just made me who I am today. But on a more real sense, thank you so much for everything that you've done for everyone else, but specifically for me, you've really helped me grow in worship and my knowledge of musical excellence.
Well, we all know you're leaving because of me, so I would say perfect timing. But we're all really going to miss you, and this you leaving is definitely going to be a loss for the department, but we all know you're doing amazing things wherever you go. Thank you.
What was the last thing I wanted to say? See, I remembered something as I was leaving, and Elle helped me with this one. But you're ugly and I'm not, so have a nice day.
I'm grateful for his spunk and how extra he is because it makes choir class super duper fun. My favorite memory was the first day of choir class in 8th grade. I was sliding around the room in my socks and I wiped out and he laughed at me. My favorite memory with Mr. Nelson is the Biltmore trip. The Biltmore trip was really fun and I especially enjoyed Olive Garden. Something I'm grateful for about him is his sense of humor. He makes choir class the one that I always look forward to every day.
Tino, I'm very ticked at you for doing this because you're my Duke buddy. So now I'm forced to be by myself once again, cheering for Duke because I got all these Carolina kids and all these other Carolina people. So, I'm not happy with you. But I hope you have a great life in your job.
One of my favorite memories with you is being stung by a jellyfish on the beach trip.
Thank you for always being there for me and being the person I could come to for a laugh on the trip.
Thank you, Mr. Nelson, for making the choir so special for me and everybody else.
Thank you so much, Mr. Nelson. I know I was never in choir, but I have loved a cappella, and thank you for showing me how music can open me up. I wish you the best.
Thank you for growing the choir program here at CBS and making choir so much fun.
Hey Tino. Alright, well I wouldn't have to do this if you were staying, but you're not, so I guess you're making me. This isn't goodbye, but I would just like to say that I am so thankful for the impact you've had on me these past 2 years. When you first came to Covenant Day, as you know, I thought you were really weird. But also, there was just something in you that made my passion for music even bigger. And I couldn't believe in myself. Last year, I did not have any musical confidence at all. And this year, being in choir and worship with you, I've just really grown to be confident in myself. And that's because you never stopped believing in me. And I can't thank you enough for that. So, even though you're leaving, that's always going to stay with me, and I know that you're still there for me anytime I need you because you're always there for me. And I don't think you understand how big of an impact you've made on the kids at Covenant Day and our lives, and I think this video will show you that you're really going to be missed because you are exceptional, and we're so lucky to have you here for 2 years, and we're gonna miss you, but the other kids are really, really just lucky to have you. We love you. Bye.
Thank you, Mr. Nelson, for everything you've done for the middle school and high school choir and theater programs. And remember, you'll never have as big as muscles as I do.
Thank you so much for all that you've done to invest in our students, and I'm telling you, it's such a loss for us, but I'm excited for you, and I just so appreciate not just your professionalism and all-inness, but your song choice and the way in which you invest in the kids. Thank you so much.
Hey, Mr. Nelson. So as I've been editing these videos and rewatching them, it's really made me realize and, remember that it's not often that you underestimate your students. You always expect the best from us because you know we're capable of the best. But I think there's definitely one area where you underestimate your students, and that is for the care that they have for you. I've never seen as many students come together and just love a teacher. Kids are grateful for the influence that you've had on them. I am. I know my friends are. And we're really going to miss you, and there's going to be a whole Covenant Day when you're gone. But we expect the best from you, and we know that you'll do great things wherever you go. Thank you.
Thank you for making choir so fun, and for always telling us you're proud of us, even if you don't mean it. I hope this video has been long enough to finish popping your tires.
They color in a world of black and white when My heart was locked inside a box.